Yeah, well, I bought a house with Remax Realty.
Well, that's all that matters then. Well, again, thank you, Mike, for being here and taking some time with us. I really do appreciate it.
Happy to be here.
What made you decide to step into the ownership role? Because you've been around for a while.
Long time. I've done it since I was 7 years old. So the minute I graduated high school in the late 80s, I just started driving race cars. The problem with that is that it takes an enormous amount of money to do that. And I came from very average, not poor, but very average lifestyle, right? So I had to have creative ways to develop budgets to race. And my main way to do that was to actually work on other people's cars, doctors, attorneys, that kind of thing, and race in parallel with them. Was able to quit my regular mechanic job at a Mazda dealership and start racing full-time for a living. Now, as time went on, I got pretty good driving. Looking back on it now, I was only maybe a little better than average, slightly above what I'm really doing looking back on it now. But at the time, my wife, who's with me to this day, got in it with me, and I spent all of her money, all of our money. And at some point, like around 2000, 2001, I had to make a decision on kind of what was going on. And thankfully, at the same time, my preparation business on the race car side was taking off. So we just started building that. I didn't want to have to go back to a living, to make a real living. I really wanted to stick with what I loved and what I was really good at.
So when you started the team early on, I'm sure it was a little bit difficult. At what point or what solidified it to say that this is going to be a success for us?
That's a really
there's
good question.
always times that you look back and think, oh my God, it's too hard. Or
Probably a lot like a lot of your brokers. When you start, there's a high risk, high financial risk. You have to invest in facilities and people, that kind of thing, and take a bunch of risks, which we were willing to do. We ham and egged it early on. So we bootstrapped it for a very long time, just my wife and I. We did finally get to a point in 2016 that to grow it further than her and I could financially do, we took on equity partners. So the first person was a guy named Jim Meyer, who was a CEO at the time of SiriusXM. And then in 2020, we sold a third of the race team to Liberty Media, who owned Formula One. So to this day, they own a third of my business. Now, we did that because of the capital infusion we needed to get the business to where it is today, but also just the network of people to talk to partners like Remax now today, just to get in those networks. I just needed more bandwidth than her and I had. And it's worked out great because I'm still an operations guy, but we're still a small business, right? We're still any American small business. We have the same challenges, people, payroll, benefits, the whole thing. And just in a different environment.
Yeah. Maddie and Sarah were bragging about you that you get your hands dirty, you're laying these mats and doing everything, which makes for a great team lead.
Yeah.
I mean, it sets a great example for everybody else.
We try.
So what do you think bring the people into you?
You know what I think it is? I think I am super Midwest. So I like to drink beer when I'm free. I like to have fun. I think we treat people how I want to be treated. I'm not afraid to work. So there's a work ethic, I think, that belongs in the Midwest that comes from just growing up here and how we grew up. And I think that's the basis of it because of the way that we include people and treat people overall. From the very top, everybody. And I'm not afraid, personally, I'm not afraid to do the things still to this day if I have to.
And again, that makes a great team lead.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at drivers like Marcus and you're interviewing them, what makes you know that they're the right fit for your team?
Number one, when you're out looking for a driver, in Marcus's case, I go do a lot of the work. I just look at numbers. Like any stick and ball sport, there's numbers that drivers generate. Qualifying, finishes, average finishes, lap pace, average pace in a car. All these things come into it, and then you meet the people. And then you talk to people. It's like any other interview for a job, except I have metrics that I go by. And they don't always work. I've failed at it, okay? But I've also come along, you get some good ones, and Marcus is one of those. And Marcus is an emerging talent. He's not peaked yet. And that's the beauty of Marcus. He is still gaining knowledge and gaining speed and we call it racecraft, where he is extremely physically fit, which is important, but it's more all mental. It's literally 70% mental. Yeah, being able to manage a race car and the things going around you the whole time.
In racing, everything happens so fast. So how do you build trust among your team so that when race day comes, everybody is aligned?
Yeah, communication. Communication is the key to life. When you have any failure, whether you're selling someone's home or condo, or if you don't communicate, it's going to fail. It's doomed to failure. It sounds pretty cheesy and pretty simplistic, but I'm telling you, my biggest challenge is keeping all these folks that you guys see in the background here communicating with their managers all the way up to me at some point. If we lose that, which we do once in a while, it's a disaster. So to me, it's really about clear communication and expectation.